What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building. And as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be bringing y'all a very nice and fire build in the mid-range playmaker. But before we get into the making, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the RGF family and any new supporters. I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button. That helps me out so much. But also be sure to turn on post notifications as well as share this video with your family and friends, y'all. Now, when it comes down to the mid-range playmaker, we're going to be able to maintain some very nice defense, going to be able to score at ease, and on top of all that, we're going to be able to get the pro dribble moves, y'all. So if you are looking to going into 2K22 with a rare playmaking build, this might help you out with deciding what you were going to make on the next version of 2K. So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you can see, we're actually going to go ahead and make this build under the power forward position. Y'all probably thought the point guard or even the shooting guard, but we're going to go with the power forward. And then when it comes down to the pie chart, y'all most definitely want to go ahead and pick one specific pie chart to make the best possible version out of this build. And that's going to be right here, split right down the middle with the playmaking as well as the shooting. Now, when it comes down to the physical profile, this is highly going to be up to y'all. So if you want to go with the most balanced one, go ahead and pick the one, which is going to be the fourth one, and you're going to have some really nice vertical on it. But if you want to go with the fastest speed, I do not blame you. Go ahead and pick the very first one, and that is going to be all good from here. Now, let's go ahead and get into the actual stats when it comes down to this build. So y'all got to be sure that you follow along with all of these stats that I put into this build, because one single change can change the entire build name. So when it comes down to the finishing, put that close shot to an 81 and the driving layup to a 68. Then, when it comes down to that mid-range, go ahead and put that to an 80. And then when it comes down to that three-pointer, max it out at a 76. Now, when it comes down to that free throw, you can definitely go ahead and max it out if you want to. With my preference, I'm telling you, I'm going to go ahead and actually put up my post fade to be a little more versatile on this build, up to an 83 for 17 shooting badges. Now, when it comes down to the free throw, if you want to, you could go ahead and raise it to a 59 to get 18 badges, and that's going to be completely up to y'all. If you want to, you can even go with 16. It comes down to your preference and what you like about the badge count. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, max out that pass accuracy as well as the ball handle. Then when it comes down to the post moves, go ahead and put this up to a 67 for another 17 badges. Now let's go ahead and get into the defense. The rest of the attributes are pretty much going to go into this category. So go ahead and max out your interior and perimeter defense, lateral quickness, same thing with the steal. Then when it comes down to the block, y'all already know that we're going to max this out. Of course, we're going to get around a 73 block, which is not going to be bad. Go ahead and max out your offensive rebound and then max out that defensive rebound. 11 badges right here, not bad at all. And as you can see, we have one remaining stat. So you could go ahead and put this into any category of your choosing. Depending on what you like about it, it's going to come down to y'all. If you want to make a couple of adjustments to the badge count, feel free to do so too. You can take some off of the defense or even from the playmaking, shooting as well, but the better shooting that we get, the more likely that we're going to be able to use this build in any game mode. So I recommend keeping the most shooting badges that you can possibly get. That might mean going up on the free throw in order to hit that 20 range, but if not, this preference for my badge count is going to be nice. As you can see, we actually ended off with 18, so that's going to be a really good setup from before. Now, the defense really going to be a solid asset on this build, especially once you go ahead and mess with the height, weight, and wingspan. The body shape and my preference, I'm telling you, y'all want to go with Burley if you want to take up the most space. Now, let's go ahead and get into the actual making of what is going to make this build a mid-range playmaker. So when it comes to the height on this build, what y'all want to go with is going to be 6'7". You're going to get a huge boost to your physicals as well as the shooting stats. Playmaking most definitely going to allow allow us to get those pro dribble moves. And then last but definitely not least, the defense as well. Now, to get the most out of this build when it comes to the speed, go ahead and put this build at 185. That's going to be the perfect weight that you want to go with, I'm telling you. However, if you decided to pick a different physical profile, the weight is obviously going to change. Now, when it comes down to the wingspan, as y'all can see, you are probably wondering how are we going to get the pro dribble moves. So if you leave it as is or go lower, you're going to be able to get the 76 ball handle. But one thing here is going to be a huge thing. So go back to the 3-point shot, take one tick off and put it into any other category of your choosing. It can be the same if you want to remain the same badge count. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and keep the same exact wingspan that we just did. However, if you go with the other version of this build, taking one tick off of the 3-pointer, the wingspan is going to be a little bit different. However, with this version that I'm showing y'all right now, this is without the one tick off of the 3-pointer. I wanted to go with the max 3-pointer on this build, which is why I left it as is. So just keep in mind, if you want to go ahead to be sure for sure to get the pro dribble moves, just take one tick off of your 3-point shot, keep the wingspan the same as is, and everything else that goes into this build is going to be fine. You're going to be able to maintain the 76 ball handle. Just make sure you put on the right wingspan. Let's go ahead and check out what this build is going to be looking like once we get to 99. So, with boost, close shots going to be in the 90s. When it comes down to the driving layup, same thing, this will hit the 80s. Mid-range shots going to hit the 90s. 3-point shot is going to be in the high 80s. Then when it comes to the post fade, this will definitely hit the 90s with the boost. Pass accuracy is going to go up to a 90. Around there is going to be really good. And then when it comes to the ball handle, like I said, if you decided to go with a lower wingspan, you're going to be able to get the pro dribble moves and still maintain the same build name if you take one tick, only one tick off of the 3-pointer. But if you decided to go with the max wingspan, not caring about the pro dribble moves, then from here, as you can see, the ball handle is going to be around the 80s. You're still going to be able to speed boost on this build, especially in takeover, so not to worry about it at all. Let's go ahead and get into the badge count now. As y'all can see, there's only one badge when it comes down to the finishing. I'm going to consider Lob City Finisher, Relentless Finisher, or Contact Finisher, or even Giant Slayer. I'm going to go with Lob City Finisher just to get those animations. I feel like that's going to be a really safe badge to put on. Now, let's go ahead and get into the defense. 11 badges to work with. Not bad at all. So first, I'm going to go with Clamps on Gold, and then from there, I'm also going to go ahead and put on Intimidator. Another badge that I really like is going to be Bronze Chase Down Artist as well as Interceptor. You could upgrade both of these to Silver. However, if you don't, look at the other option that we get out of it. Gold, Rim Protector, and still maintaining those bronze badges for the animations. You could go ahead and lower it to Silver as well. Take off both of these, and then when it comes down to the bronze badges, we're not going to care too much about it. Go ahead and drop either Intimidators, Silver, or Clamps, and for the very last one, it comes down to your preference. You could go with both Silver, Chase Down Artist, and Interceptor just to spread the wealth a little bit more. However, it comes down to what you like most. Let's go ahead and get into the next set of badges, which is going to be the playmaking. Okay, so we got 17 badges to work with. For this build, we got to go ahead and put on the most important badges first, which are going to help us out. That's going to be Handles for Days as well as Quick First Step. Now, if you're looking to use this build to break ankles, Space Creator is going to be the badge for you. For the Dribble Gods, y'all already know what Tight Handles does. Go ahead and leave it on. Now, if you're looking to help out your teammates, either Flashy Passer, Floor General, or Dimer is going to be the badge that you want to put on. I'm not going to go with that route for this specific build. I'm going to go with either Unpluckable on Bronze or either Bailout. Then for the very last one, it really comes down to your preference and what badge you like. I would go with Unpluckable just to be safe. Now, let's go ahead and get into the last count of the badges, which is going to be the shooting. 18 badges to work with, so y'all already know we got to go with the Range Extender, Hot Start, as well as Hot Zone Hunter on this build. Now, if you don't know your jump shot, go ahead and take off Hot Start. There's going to be a couple other badges that you can put on. I'm going to go with Corner Specialist on Silver, Bronze Green Machine, as well as Bronze Volume Shooter. From here, if you're looking to catch and shoot a lot, go ahead and put it on Hall of Fame. However, if not, Clutch shooter on bronze is going to be good, and then you could even go with difficult shots just to be toxic to go with that mid-range playmaker name. I like flexible release. I'm going to take it on. Then when it comes down to clutch shooter, I'm going to switch it for Deadeye. Now keep in mind, this is just one of the setups that I would really consider running for this build. If you don't want to run difficult shots, go ahead and put on hot start instead. If you want to, you can definitely take off flexible release. Any of these badges are highly going to be up to y'all preference and what your game style is more like. With my preference, I'm going to end it off like this just to be more safe. Now, if y'all decided to finish the video through, thank y'all. That's the final setup of 1, 18, 17, and 11. Go ahead and comment down RGF if y'all finish this entire video through. I got another video dropping for y'all tomorrow as well. So, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new to the RGF family, and any new supporters, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and hit that like button. But also, go ahead and turn on post notifications so y'all do not miss an upload. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.